One of those games where you could pull that out. Silas does very much like to steal the Veigar ultimate away, though, and he also likes to steal away the Gnar ultimate and the here, so you can chase me through that brush if you want. Now the Zion's going to show up.
Yeah, there's a Petrifying Gaze, though, as Faker, he might just die as ShowMaker doesn't have his flash, and Oner tries to make his way over. Another poison comes on through as Faker walks up, flashes away, and Oner should be able to finish this one off. ShowMaker, though, does have to get the flash out for Oner to be able to pick up that kill. Man, that was close. As now Lucid looking for a little bit of an angle here as he gets over the wall, flashes on forward. Can he get the Oner? The answer's no! Too many knockups, and they outplay the monkey!
Lucid's face!
Damn. Well,
that's the kind of moment where you're just like, I don't know, I gave it my all.
To be perfectly okay, he's dead again. And the problem is, like, Mega tries to sidestep it, and it does not work.
When he goes for the miasma, then Faker's gonna get the taunt, and so I mean, tries to sidestep like you said. As now we have chains.
Yeah, and there is no ulti available here for Keria. Good flash there from Peyz as Smash just trying to do enough damage to stop them from killing his cow. As another couple of autos from Keria will be required. Grand entrance to finish him off. That's a creative way to get a kill. And now Smash could be in a lot of trouble, although he's doing a fair bit of damage back. Sidestep not quite enough there as Keria looks for the angle, doesn't find it. Keria just dead. And now Doran looking to try and kill Lucid here as well. Gets that information, chains connect, and he picks up a Cyclone for himself as well. Now you've got Faker trying to move on in. Justice Punch does get interrupted by the Cyclone, and there's a Petrifying Gaze as Doran has to try and get out of there, but Lucid gets the extra range on the Q. And now Faker looking to try and turn this. Oner gets the pullback. My God, Oner Zahen is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, he's been putting the hours in for
Oh,
sure.
yes.
I'm watching this game.
That's why he's like,
you
wow,
gotta kill Smash. You gotta deal with Siwoo. You only have one Silas ult at this point in the game, early on, as Doran. Speaking of Doran.
Yeah, can he hop his way out of this one? This time doesn't get the extra bounce as the flash comes on in. Good knockback, Grim Deliverance, and the delivery is death. Down goes Siwoo.
And he's dead.
Auto already in the air there for Oner, so beautifully done. We've got a bit of a tussle here as Faker's going to be moving in first. Headbutt out, good Justice Punch though to avoid that as now Smash is in a lot of trouble. The quickness comes on through, but Keria is a long way away from the rest of his team, but so is Lucid. And now Lucid is very, very dead.
In this game.
Yep.
There's a lot of ifs in this game for T1 as Faker.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
That was about the angle that he dodged it on his Riven back in the day. Beautifully done.
It's been them in the mid lane that have really put ShowMaker into his grave, but this might be a bridge too far.
Well, Lucid is going to smite him, and there is a dead Faker. So that is a lot of money going over to Lucid. Dplus and T1 right now, as Oner already has it down to 34 health.
So they trade the...
Yeah, Lucid moving on in there, but this Rift Herald is down very low. Teleport does get ShowMaker up there, as there is the Cyclone. Grim Deliverance comes on down. Rise is pretty good, as now Keria just getting himself out of there. Justice Punch comes on through, but we have the Rift Herald taken here by Lucid, and now Faker is in no man's land. In the meantime, Smash just taking matters into his own hands. And so is Faker, actually. It's taking a long time for him to go down, as she will finally find the Hyper Proc, and down goes the Galio. That Lucid wastes no time, and they're going to put down the Rift Herald. Wolf, are you hearing it? Can you hear it?
I mean, I was going to say that might have just been the game-losing moment for T1. They had no right to fight the way to fight that Herald with a setup they didn't have, frankly. I was going to say with the setup they had, they didn't really have one. That's a turret down here, and top turret's already gone. One plate left in the bottom lane. Can they punish ShowMaker?
Yes, they can, as he's going to get pulled back. Keria moving over. Lucid not going to be able to help, and the Snake goes down. And I want to completed his Seraphs as well, so he's pretty strong with these two items, pretty stacked up. 7 stacks on the Rod of Ages. And so this Dragon DP should be going over to DK, as there is, like you say, the teleport coming on forward. Can they find a team fight, though, as Grim Deliverance kind of avoided here by DK? But the quickness is so good. Smash does avoid it, though. There is a decent Petrifying Gaze as the Cyclone's there from Lucid. Decoy buys a lot of space as ShowMaker does not make it out. Finally, Keria does fall down, as that is Siwoo falling as well, and it's T1's turn to win a team fight.
And T1 only lose Keria here, and they will be able to take out this mid turret. Dragon going over to Dplus in the meanwhile, but the gold here feels really nice to pick up for T1. As Peyz?
Yeah, guess what's on the map.
Fine.
Yeah, Keria is here. When there's Keria and Keria in the game, it does make my brain kind of hurt. But Keria
really
was there.
So I'm going to start putting deep vision into your jungle. I'm going to let this Sivir rip through another wave in the mid lane. I'm going to let this Gnar push.
Well, chains are not going to connect, but the Gnar does. Siwoo does have a blast cone as well, and so he can use that to get himself out of there. Sorry, Valdez. The disengage cone is just perfect. But the one thing I wanted to say, Wolf, is that it's T1, and this comp has no
out of Doran here, and T1 have to rush over, and the timing is pretty thin.
Well, there's a Gnar onto Keria, as Mega Gnar timing here pretty good for Siwoo, but they're unable to actually finish him off. The Drake, though, it does go down as Doran gets the Unbreakable Will, but misses every other button, and now Keria is just being annoying where he can. He is going to die, but can the rest of them get out? That is the question. As Siwoo, maybe the answer is no, as ShowMaker trying to offer some damage back. The chains go wide, but Oner finds his, and Siwoo is just going to fall. Steric's not enough, and so it is 2 in trade for Soul Point.
So T1 get the gold lead again. Soul is down, he can't get here without walking, and T1 are going to make that call. It's a tough one, but if they pilot this well, got the Alistar ult in tow.
It's going to take a while for it to go down as Chains of Corruption hits a decoy. Let's see whether Lucid can utilize that as they do get the vision of this Baron. Doran looks for the angle once again, but doesn't find it. Petrifying Gaze doesn't hit much, as there is a heroic entrance from Faker just to try and get out, but it's Zion that falls down first. The Cyclone so good from Lucid, but he's still going to fall, and Doran is doing crazy things in the back line. Goes golden with the Zhonya's to buy a little bit of time before he inevitably does fall down, and ShowMaker's Conqueror is getting so much value in this fight. It's absolutely ridiculous. Faker has to flash to get himself over that wall, but Keria's going in once again because somehow he has ulti back off cooldown. Smash grabs another kill as the Gargoyle falls, and the bane of T1 is the Baron this time around. Out of the series, but they are not afraid to keep trying no matter how close to the wall they get. And here in this game number 4, they're looking to try and bring us to 5. This is their sole point as they're looking to catch Faker in this mid lane. Heba Pulp to interrupt the taunt, and down he will go. He does go golden, buys a little bit of time, but Smash has delivered another kill. They'll crash the wave point in this as DK, 2,000 gold lead in Infernal Soul. That is massive to walk too close to it. And that does mean that T1 also, they don't know where the rest of Dplus are, so it's hard for them to collapse here. But it looks like DK are going to look to try and start this fight off themselves as Keria tries to hold themselves in position, but the heroic entrance only onto Lucid, and he doesn't really care. The Cyclone knocks off Faker, he goes golden, but it interrupts Oner there as well. Grim Deliverance doesn't do much. Faker's dead already. Baron is on Dplus this time as it takes down the Zahan, and now Doran tries to do it against Smash, but the flash is too good. And now it's Peyz against the world, and unfortunately the world hits back this time.
And you know what, Atlas? You can make those super sound effects because we are going to 5.
Oh my goodness, DK, the one team that I did not think that would be capable to set up a reverse sweep, and they have done it. Nexus turrets in their sights, and they will bring us to a game 5 and look to see whether they can stamp a ticket to Hong Kong.
Absolute insanity and the greed in the